So I don't watch the news, and here is why. Human beings, we have something called a negativity bias or negativity heuristic. Basically, what that means is that negative information is of more value to our brains than positive information. And there's an evolutionary reason why this is the case. The evolutionary reason being that negative information might impact our survival. If there's a lion in the woods, you want to know about it so it doesn't bite your throat out and kill you. Whereas if there's extra grapes in the corner, that's cool. It helps us eat more food, but it's not as important as the lion in the woods. So that's how our brain processes information. Whenever something is negative, whenever something is a bit more dark, we pay attention to it. And the news feeds off this bias, right? They've been doing it for years. There's a thing called fear mongering. They like to talk about every single event as if it's the end of the world. In Australia, we recently had the bushfire season, and there was a lot of bushfires, and millions of people around the world helped and supported. And I downloaded this app on my phone that basically alerted me whenever there was a bushfire nearby. So initially I was freaking myself out. I was like, oh damn, there's a bushfire over there. There's a bushfire over here. I'm gonna burn alive. And I was creating contingency plans with my girlfriend about how we're gonna move out and just get out of the situation. But then nothing happened, right? The bushfire didn't come near us, but we kept getting alerts and alerts about bushfires. And you look outside and there was smoke and it was real ominous looking. But I realized that there's no point in worrying. There's no point in worrying about certain things if you have no control over them. If a bushfire decided to come to our area and burn shit up, obviously that's when you have to take action and get out of there. But until that happens, why should you worry about something that is not in your control? Of course, you can do what you need to do to help out. You could donate to firefighters and what have you, but there is no point in worrying. It's better to continue life as usual. But if you pay attention to the news every single day, you start having this degree of anxiety or fear that just sits with you when you're doing things that are not even related to that fear. So that's not a good way to live. The most recent thing being the coronavirus, right? So the coronavirus started in Wuhan and is spreading quicker than SARS, and people are losing their shit. People are losing their shit, and I've noticed a pattern. This happens every single time. Happened with Ebola, happened with bird flu, it happened with ISIS. There's always something to scare the masses, always something to grab their attention. And being a digital marketer, now I know why they do this. The news is a business, right? Their primary objective isn't really just to keep you alert on what's happening. They need you to come to their website. They need you to see their ads so that they can make money. It's a business. So they're going to use tactics to get you to click. They're going to try to make things worse than what they are. So they use a lot of dark imagery. They use a lot of bold words that really grab your attention just to get you to go on their website. The issue with this is that you don't have to worry about this stuff, right? You don't have to worry about this stuff. If your time to die comes tomorrow, a meteorite is coming, then you would deal with that tomorrow. In the meantime, just continue doing with what you're doing. I remember Sam Ovens was talking in one of his courses. He mentioned that he went to this millionaire's house before he made a lot of money, before he became really rich. He was a broke guy. He went to this millionaire's house in New Zealand with his girlfriend. And this millionaire did things very differently to most people. This millionaire didn't watch the news. As soon as the news was on, everybody was consumed. He just walked out the room. Now, Sam Ovens asked this guy, he's like, why did you walk out the room when this negative news was on? That's disrespectful. And he said to him that he guards his mind like no other, that he doesn't allow any negativity to enter his mind because that doesn't help him, it doesn't impact him. And that's generally what the news is. It just feeds onto this negativity bias that we all have and keeps us anxious. And there's no need for that. If shit's gonna hit the fan and a hurricane's gonna come tomorrow and blow your house away, you're gonna hear about it from people. You don't have to go out of your way and sit there and watch the news. Next time you watch the news, just pay attention. Have you noticed that they don't really show anything positive? Like they might have one positive story for 6 negative stories. What do you think that's doing to your mind when you're seeing all these children starving and you're seeing these natural disasters? It's making you think that the world is a very negative place, whereas the world is actually a neutral place. There's lots of good stuff happening, there's lots of bad stuff happening, but if you're constantly seeing the worst of the world, the worst of society, that anxiety is just going to keep growing in you, keep brewing in you. It's going to affect everything you do, and that's not a good way to live. So that is why I don't watch the news. That's why I guard the inputs that come into my brain strictly, and a lot of successful people have done the same. And I implore you to try for a while. Don't watch the news. Keep away from it for like 3 weeks or so, and you will see very quickly that nothing changes, and you don't have to be up to date with everything that's happening in the world. Anyway, guys, do this, and I promise you, you'll be one step closer to living and dying well. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate you. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell notifications so we can see more of each other. Until next time.